How's it going, everybody, today? Revelation 10, 5 through 10, Matthew 10, verse 35, and we're going to get into Matthew 11, 1, just one verse. We do one column at a time. The columns are synced up so I can keep track of it in the books. My dad's old King James Bible. But we always start with the New Testament, and then we get to our end time study. We're now on our 12th Revelation study. Be sure to always click the playlist and begin these from the beginning. You can click an end time study from the beginning or click a New Testament study from the beginning. So if you've clicked Matthew, or if you want to start with Matthew, start Matthew from the beginning of the playlist. If I have skipped one, let me know and I will go back and insert it. But you simply go to the channel. Don't click video. It'll take you to videos, but you click playlist. You can click Matthew and start from the beginning, or you can click Revelation and start from the beginning. The others will overlap. New Testament first, end times next. So if you start Revelation study, you might be in them. We might have then already begun Matthew. Looks like it was 20 videos of Revelation, 30 of Matthew. So we'd have been, when we start the Revelation, if you start the Revelation playlist, you will have missed the first 10 videos of Matthew. So it depends on what you want more. You can start Matthew and Revelation both from the beginning. Who cares if you hear some of the same studies over and over? Or if it's end times, you can just stop listening and know that you'll catch it when you get to Revelation. That's what you should do. Start both. Start Matthew. You'll finish up Daniel. And then when you get into Revelation, you can quit listening. Well, when you start Matthew, when you get to Revelation, or the end time study, just stop listening, because the New Testament's always first. And then you also will have started the Revelation study on its own. And I guess that's the tricky part. Do y'all want me to put breaks in there? If you're really playlisting, do you want me to put breaks? Because I can do that. What you would do is, on a video, you would go down into the description where I could put the it'll be a timestamp, and you would just click that timestamp and it would throw you right to the end time study. And that way you wouldn't have to listen to the New Testament study, because maybe you're listening to that on another playlist. So let me know if you want me to do that. I'll be glad to start doing that. I won't go back and do it, but I will do it from now on. Easy to do. Takes a little more time, but if it helps y'all study, well, then that is certainly worth it. For I am come to set man at variance against his father. He's coming to separate the sheep and the goat. And the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. So that gets into Luke 14:26. Luke 14:26, King James Version, Bible Gateway. If any man come to me and hate not his father, his mother, his wife, his children, his brethren, his sisters, yea, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Do you really hate your own life? Do you really hate your father? No, what he's saying is you have to hate on your own flesh, your own parents, your own family members, your own spouse. You have to hate on the things they do because you're putting God first. Wife wants a Christmas tree. No, you have to hate on that concept. You have to hate on the concept she just presented, and you say, there's not going to be a Christmas tree in our house. Boom. I'm just giving you a loose example of what that Bible verse means, which transfers over to what he's saying here. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. And that's the death. When the Lord took the cross, he was taking his death, and we're to take our death to self daily, which again goes back to hating your own life. Yea, and his own life. If any man come to me and hate not his and his own life, he cannot be my disciple. And that's the death to self, the daily cross. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. So if you don't die to self, then you're not worthy of Jesus. But don't worry. These are Bible verses in the parabolistic sense, because the reality is, if the Lord loves you, he will take you and beat the world out of you. For whom the Lord loveth, well, I thought he loved everybody. No, he does not. Jesus said only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. If you're not, and that's talking about the church. The church is now the house of Israel. Israel is the church. Church is Israel. And that's clear in Acts 7:38, where they refer to the church that was on Mount Sinai receiving the 10 Commandments. Those that he loves, he locks you down and he beats the world out of you. So if you're his, you will pick up your cross. You have no choice in the matter. Free will is the most satanic doctrine. That's why they shove John 3:16 up your nostrils, isn't it? That's right. By the way, hi, Glow. How you doing? Glad you're here. Thank you for always giving the shout out. It's always good to see that I feel like I'm actually speaking to somebody. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it. He that loseth his life for me shall find it. I think you'll understand what all that's saying. He that receiveth you receiveth me. He that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. Remember, Jesus is just a sliver of the sovereign God as he came in the flesh. We can't handle all of God, but we can handle a tiny sliver of God by receiving his spirit when he gives it to us. And he did come in the flesh. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. He that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. I did not understand what that meant. Let's go to the King James. Will really take the cryptic word of God, because it's written in code, it's spiritually understood. And the King's English of the 1500s will really tear it up. Receive a prophet as one who speaks for God, you will be given the same reward as a prophet. If you receive a righteous person because of their righteousness, you'll be given a reward like theirs. You know how they were told, go into the city, shake the dust off your sandals if you're not received, but if you are received, and that's what that's talking about. But this is the one that was very difficult to understand. Let's see if this breaks it down for me. If you give even a cup of cold water to one of the least of my followers, you will surely be rewarded. That makes more sense to me. So if you're just helping out any member of the church, you're going to be rewarded. Let's go back and read that again. Whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. I just don't understand. They'll lose his reward. So I'm just going to have to tell you, I just blank out on that Bible verse. If it's written correctly in the New Living, I want to let God be true and every man a liar. This is the first time I've been stumped reading or giving y'all a study, unless it's end times revelation. There's been times where, of course, we give pause on that. But and whosoever shall give to drink unto one of the little ones a cup of cold water. Is it because of the cold water? Only in the name of a disciple shall no lies lose his reward. Anyway, if you're a sheep, you can't lose your reward. The Lord will beat the world out of you and direct your path. Everything is set. He's already declared the end from the beginning. Revelation is written. What you're going to eat for lunch next Thursday is already written into the script of your life. This is a sovereign God who has ordained all things. We're just living the life the sovereign God has ordained for us. And if you're a goat, then you're still doing God's will. You're just of the other spirit world directing your path. Year of your father the devil, as John 8:44 says. But you're not living on free will decisions. If you're a goat, you're still living exactly the exact path ordained for you of the goat life. We don't know who the lost sheep are versus the goats today, because a lost sheep will live the life of a goat until they get the call. For whom he did predestinate, that's sheep, them he also called. And when they get, this is Romans 8:29 and 30. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed. You will conform to the image of his son, that he might be firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, sheep, them he also called. And when you get the call, that is when you are no longer a lost sheep, you are now found. And whom he called, he also justified. And that's when you're going through the justification, sanctification, repentant process. And whom he justified, he also glorified. And that's when you're raised and you get your glorified body. One more verse left after the one I just couldn't understand. I understood it in the New Living. And if you give even a cup of cold water to one of the least of my followers, you will surely be rewarded. He shall in no wise. Maybe the in no wise means you will not lose your reward. Maybe that's what it's saying. Okay, sorry. It was probably that simple. Yay, so maybe we figured it out and I'm still not stumped. I don't know. The third, last verse. And it came to pass when Jesus had made an end of commanding his 12 disciples, he departed thence to teach and to preach in their cities. Now we move over to Revelation. And the angel which I saw stood upon the sea and upon the earth, lifted up his hand to heaven, and sware by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things therein, and the earth and the things therein are. So I left that out, but who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are, and the sea and the things that are therein, that there should be time no longer. Wow. That's a big Bible verse. So you're now into, and if there's time no longer, then what is the 1,000-year millennial reign of Christ, which comes after this? if there's no longer time? Is it a literal 1,000 years that Satan is chained and that God is communing in Israel? You follow what I'm saying? So these type of things are very cryptic, and that is when I will tell you I have no answer. I always say it's a literal 1,000 years because that's how it's written. And maybe that means there's no longer time on the old earth that is going through its refurbished process. And then after it's refurbished, then there might be a literal 1,000-year millennial reign with all the sheep and Jesus in a newly refurbished, revamped Holy Land of Israel. Because today it's Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified per Revelation 11:8. And I mean, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, that killeth the prophets, and then Jesus was killed there. That is satanic land now. But it does come back. And then the abomination of desolation is there by the Antichrist. But then that's what all these trumpet bowl vial judgments are about. It's to cleanse the earth. Now there's no longer time as we're going through this cleansing process. So maybe the 1,000 years is then literal after this refurbishing is taking place. But that's what's taking place. The earth is being gutted. It's being demolished, burned up, going through cleansing. So then Jesus can have the 1,000-year millennial reign with his church. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished. So you just said time no longer, and that the mystery of God should be finished. And of course, the mystery of God goes back to Matthew. And the disciples said, "Why do you speak to all these people in parables?" And Jesus answered and said unto them, "Because it is given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom." You see, the truth of God is a mystery to the rest of the world. Just like Mystery Babylon is the hidden world that runs the earth for Satan. Though it's all ordained by God, I create evil, I create darkness, I, the Lord, do all these things, right? He answered, said, it is given to you. So sheep are given the mystery of the kingdom. And that goes back to 1 Corinthians 2:14. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God. They are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. They are a mystery unto mankind, given to the sheep when they get the call. So the mystery of God should be finished. So there's no more mystery. Everything is on the table. Everybody knows what's happening. As he hath declared to his servants, the prophets. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it, eat it up, and it's going to make your belly bitter. But before that, it's going to be in your mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand, John said, and ate it up. And it was in my mouth, sweet as honey. But as soon as I'd eaten it, my belly was bitter. Love it. Fascinating, isn't it? I'm glad y'all are here. Hi, Glow 66, and anybody else. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.